Hey Toy and Collector fans, this is Fly Guy for TekSushi.com. Just been to see Captain America the Winter Soldier and thought we'd give you a bit of a quick movie review on the film. Now there will be spoilers in this, so if you don't want to have the movie spoiled for you, don't watch any more. I'll try not to make any major spoilers to it, but look, this is the point. If you don't want to watch and you don't want spoilers and you're going to go see the movie, then stop watching right now. For those who just cannot wait, I'll tell you a couple of little things about the movie, but hopefully you won't spoil it. Look, if you know the comics around the Winter Soldier movie, you probably know a lot of the plot already. Marvel actually have done not a great job at keeping a lot of this under wraps. It's been leaked out here and there in little bits and pieces. Samuel L. Jackson, for example, announced just the other day that he'd struck in a deal with Marvel. His original deal was something like 6 films. That kind of tells you a little bit about the Captain America the Winter Soldier too. So a lot of the stuff's been given away. A lot of the trailer, actually, the more I kind of look back on it, really did spill a lot of the beans on the movie. So, again, a lot of it's been given away. But, again, I'm trying not to spoil too much for you. But, look, ultimately, don't care. It's an enjoyable movie. Stunning movie. Definitely go and see it. Talking about action, this film starts off in a major action sequence. And it's fantastic. It's like James Bond on steroids. Lots of wisecracks between the team. You've probably seen it online. There was a 3-minute or 4-minute or 7-minute, I think it was, introduction to the movie, which was kind of given away by Marvel online. And again, that gave away tons as well. So a lot of this is out there already if you've been reading reviews. It's also been quite well documented about the end credit sequences. There's tons of videos on YouTube, people desperate to get views. And that's why I'm saying if you don't want spoilers, don't keep watching. But some people just keep wanting to watch all this stuff. So it's a great movie. Absolutely fantastic movie. Directors Joe Russo and I think it's Christopher Russo. Let me just double check. Not really well known for movies or action movies of this ilk. Anthony Russo, my apologies. Anthony Russo and Joe Russo take over the helm from the original Joe Johnston. They're best known for Community and Arrested Development TV shows, and it's very surprising that this movie is made by them, I guess. They're normally making excellent TV dramas with lots of in-depth characters, but the action is something that really surprises here and not something you really see in those 2 other shows too much. But it's such an edge-of-your-seat film. From the very start to the very end, it is full-on roller coaster ride. We were all sitting, we all got the pleasure of going to see this movie a little bit early. Thank you to Marvel in Australia here. We managed to get quite a few tickets to go and see this at the press screening here. Got on the 3D glasses and went off to go and see it. Sadly, there weren't any Captain America versions. They're just standard kind of real-D 3D glasses. But the 3D is, yet again, it's just beautifully done by Marvel. It's not interfering with the movie. It's not got silly dynamics that we used to get of fists up and screens and nonsense. It just adds that nice field of depth and a rounded kind of value to it that I think is beautiful. It's really, really well done. Even kind of these days, the 3D seems to have improved to my mind. Even taking your glasses off, there's just less and less of a blur and less of a kind of discomfort with 3D. DC was with me and he's not too happy about 3D. As is my wife sometimes. She's a little kind of 3D kind of upsets her eyes sometimes. Not a problem. Everybody loved it. So it's so edgy your seat. We were all literally sticking to the seat with excitement. It sounds disgusting, but it was it was a very hot night here as well. 30 degrees in Melbourne. So very hot cinema. Very exciting movie and great show put on by Marvel. Lots of freebies as we went in. Certainly one of them was, and I don't have it here. I do have it here. It's a Guardians of the Galaxy poster, which was given away. I think our guy who was over at New York Toy Fair got one of these at the Hasbro press conference. So it's hardly something that's kind of been out there too much. But still nice to get a freebie and some ice cream and water and drinks and so forth. So thank you yet again to Marvel for getting us these press screening tickets. Now, the movie on with the rest of itself. Chris Evans, stunning job. Man, the guy is super fit. He's unbelievable. He really is. An amazing guy, good actor, and he packs on the brawn for this movie. He's huge, absolutely massive. Goes through a couple of changes in this movie. We see him in his Steve Rogers outfit with the star in the centre across the chest there. Falcon, obviously, the actor who plays him too, does a great job. No issues there. They do kind of breeze over the Falcon's character and how he can manage to have this suit and so forth, but it's actually pretty well done. They do have a lot to pack in this movie. Alexander Pierce, played by Robert Redford, very well done again as the kind of sleazy head of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something. We'll find out later if you go and see the movie. Absolutely, coming up to the best of the movie, but one of the best was definitely Scarlett Johansson. She kicks ass in this movie. If she's not doing some ninja kick in some other way, she's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Even the stunt work just looks amazing. The Bucky Barnes, who clearly has been well documented now there as the Winter Soldier. Sebastian Stan, yes, Sebastian Stan is the actor that plays him. Does a great job again, really good job. Doesn't get a lot of lines in it, but that's the point. He's moody, broody, and he's slightly pissed off. But again, the stunt work in this between them, even if it was other stuntmen and women that did some of these scenes, it's stunning. I've not seen so many explosions in a movie in a long, long time. So many cars, so many explosions. It's an action-packed movie, super action-packed. However, the absolute star of the show for me is Samuel L. Jackson. Jesus, this guy blows away everybody in the film. It shouldn't be called Captain America. It's just a Nick Fury movie as far as I'm concerned. The action sequence that in the middle or the beginning of the film, quite a big chunk of it is around Nick Fury when things go bad. I won't spoil it too much. But what a sequence this is, this car chase and drama actually set within a car. It's heart-pounding stuff, and it has to be said, the highlight of the movie for me. Just amazingly well done, lots of gadgets and technology, and a fight-off between him and the Winter Soldier. Absolute best, hands down, best bit of the movie. Absolutely loved it. Love to hear your comments and thoughts once you get to see the movie. The movie isn't opening out here until the 3rd of April in Australia. Then I think it's globally the 4th around the world. So we only get it literally a day before you just because of the time zones. But this was a press screening. There's been a few around the world, but this was one of the first ones, I think, or the earlier ones. So great to get to see it. Who else? What can we talk about? A previous character we've known from the first movie, and again, if you don't want spoilers, you shouldn't be watching this, so shouldn't be too much of a surprise. But Arnim Zola is back, and he's pretty cool actually in this. Nice kind of guys in the way that they bring him in. So well done, Marvel, to the story there. We also get a couple of flashbacks, and so they bring in the actors who played Peggy Carter. I'm just trying to remember her name. What's her name again? Hayley Atwell does a good job in this. Really, really well done as well. Nice little montages and flashbacks to the first Avenger. Even Sebastian Stan and Cap get the skinny Cap, so that the actor who played the very skinny Cap is back in there in some form. And again, it's absolutely seamless. The digital is just flawless. Utterly flawless. The stunts, the sequences, these guys are flying through the air and slinging shields everywhere. It's beautiful. It's just absolutely an amazing looking film. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Couple of other things. Robert Redford we talked about. Alexander Pierce. Agent 13. Now, if you know your Marvel stuff, I just put 2 and 2 together pretty quickly just before the movie, but I didn't realize she was Peggy Carter's long kind of relation, or her daughter's niece, or what, I don't know. Anyway, she's related to her, so there's obviously all this kind of connection that goes on. Black Widow again, she's just kicking ass in so many scenes. She's fantastic. Lots of good humour as well. Good humour between Falcon, Black Widow, and Cap. Really smart, really slickly done, just enough. Probably one of the best Marvel movies I've seen for being balanced all the way throughout. You've got good slots of characters and time on the characters to really focus on them. Maria Hill, I should also say, is back there too. Very minor part, but she's back, as is Sitwell. Sitwell, I can never pronounce his name. But he's in there too. So there's a couple of familiar faces in there, and the 2 end sequences. One, again, being a little bit spoiled by Marvel, the very, very end sequence. Again, I'll spoil it. So again, if you don't want spoilers, stop watching this. But we get to see a sequence of Bucky Barnes looking basically back at it, or the Winter Soldier looking back at himself as Bucky Barnes. But before that is another mini sequence, and if you don't know, and again, spoiler here, it's already been spoiled all over the web anyway, but, spoiler alert, the 2 characters we see at the end of the movie are Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. Have to say, the sequence in which they're in, like Thor: The Dark World, is a bit rubbish, really. It's, I think they're beginning to put these sequences in as a bit of ooh, and everybody, but it's just, I think it was well done and much more managed when it was Iron Man, and it was almost an unplanned thing they did with Nick Fury in Iron Man, and these now are becoming a little bit odd as far as I'm concerned. All of us that went to see it tonight, the 4 of us, all thought the the Dark World, Thor the Dark World end sequence with the Collector, Benicio del Toro's hair. What the hell was going on with that? It didn't look right. It looked staged. It looked like a cheap set. It looked like Doctor Who. It looked terrible. Anyway, that was all our thoughts. We thought the same. For Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, it's a little bit rushed. And, you know, I guess it would have been harder to show these two just sitting there. They have to show them doing and using their powers. So it's a little staged and a little odd. But, yeah, they're in it. And, of course, they're characters. And, again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but it's all over the web. They are core characters. We've seen shots of them in overseas in South Korea being filmed for Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. So I haven't spoiled one big thing throughout the movie for you, so I've left a couple of little things here and there. And ultimately, there's a lot of plot twists and things that go on, so it keeps you on your toes anyway, so nothing's truly spoiled. Again, if you've read the comics, you know half of this stuff anyway, but it's a great, great movie. I absolutely cannot recommend it enough. For me, probably, apart from some of the Iron Man movies, best. Because I love the Avengers, but not as much as this. This was a good movie, and I have to say it's all thanks to Nick Fury. What an amazing actor he is in this movie. Love him. So I'd love to hear your thoughts when you go to see it. Hopefully I've not spoiled too much. Let us know, leave a comment below what you think. Any good Captain America comics that I've not read, Reborn, and a few others I've managed to pick up, and Winter Soldier. So I've pieced my way through Captain America. I've never been a massive fan of it, but in the recent years, probably like a lot of you with the Marvel kind of franchise, being a bigger and bigger fan as time goes on. So yeah, love to hear your comments and thoughts on the movie and what you're down to see about the movie and what you want to know about Marvel movies and all that stuff. Whether you like the review or not, let us know. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you want to see more Marvel, normally we do toy reviews as well as some mini reviews for movies. Let us know, leave a comment and subscribe, and we'll see you for some other goodies. But make sure you book your tickets to The Winter Soldier. It's a very good movie. That's it. See you soon. Cheers.